What is hereditary that science calls it? I'm sure it's going to come back and say there isn't anything called hereditary. Everything is happening through your own thought and creation. These things will come. They're got to come. While modern science is changing and reinventing itself regularly, so the Newton model to Newtonian model to quantum model is exactly like that. It's got to come. It's got to come. It's just that there are certain industries which are holding it back. What happens if a quantum model comes? The whole pharma industry cannot exist. The insurance industry cannot exist. They cannot exist because everybody becomes their own doctor with these alternate healing modalities. But you can't stop truth. It's got to come up. The alternate healing modalities will have to come up. That acupressure is there, acupuncture is there, yoga is there, and of course meditation is there, which is going to heal various ailments because they're all coming as psychosomatic. Now, while we understood that from this quantum model, how things are getting created, and then how and what we need to do to change our thought and feeling is primarily by reading books and meditation, expanding our consciousness, and then reducing things that do not support us. But then many successful leaders in a survey, they have done multiple surveys they have done. And consistently, three things that have come out in those. One, these successful leaders are very passionate about whatever they take up. They live the dream no matter when and what time. You wake them up in the middle of the night and then they are going to live the dream. I'm sure that must have been the case with Madhavanji. Otherwise, he couldn't have been so successful in many, many areas because he must be living his dream all the time, passionate about whatever that you take up, we got to give you 100%, or it comes from inside, a desire to go and then make a difference. Whatever we take up, we want to make a difference. That's the passion. The reasons may be many, but doesn't matter, but they want to make a difference in whatever we take up. So they've always been very passionate about it. Second, they were very big picture oriented. So they're visionaries. They talk about this vision. They don't talk about point tasks to people. They're visionaries. They're always talking the big picture. They know that when I give the big picture, because it's all whole. It comes from that whole. The more larger you know, the more better decisions you make. We know that. That famous story of three masons who were part of this Taj Mahal building. Perhaps some of you know the story. All three masons are building walls of the Taj Mahal. One was asked, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm building a wall." So you can see the quality of that work is shabby. He's just building a wall. He didn't care. It's just a wall, right? Wall, who gives importance? If it is in the hall, you got to do, fine refinement because many people see that's how that person was. It's a wall. Okay. He's going to get covered with something. So there's so much of shabbiness is there. All the marbles that they're building, the Taj Mahal was built with marbles. But it is just a lot of shabbiness. He's not bothered about which marble is picking up, consistency, color. He didn't bother. Just put it up, just because there, whatever comes ready by is because all he knows is building a wall. Then the second one is asked, "What are you building?" "Oh, I'm building a monument for my king's wife." Okay, so he's taking care. Okay, king's wife, some people will come and see. Maybe that spirit will feel better. So let me take care of not have all this cement here and there. So make it a little bit neat because it's in a king's wife's monument, so some people will come. But the third mason said, "What are you building?" Then he said, "I'm building one of the world wonders. Now the whole world is going to come here." And so he is absolutely be very, very clear and particular what color, what marble, whether it is there, fine, everything he was detailing and paying so much close attention because he had the vision. He was enabled by his supervisor, whatever, but the rest were not enabled. The same thing, but different people doing differently. So the leaders had a passion, they had vision, And third one, they're enabling people significantly. If you enable your team members, if you work with more and more people, then they're able to succeed quite a bit, because it's not about an individual show. They know that, they recognize that the more we give freedom, the more we empower them, then they can become successful. So dear friends, that's all emotional intelligence. It is emotional intelligence that gets us to be that. Emotional intelligence is about self-awareness, self-expression, inspiration, empathy, and developing great amount of social skills. There are 5 things broadly. And meditation is enabling all of them. This meditation that we're practicing is enabling all of these 5 areas significantly for every individual without an exception. Emotional intelligence, EQ or emotional quotient, self-awareness, awareness about ourselves, every moment of ourselves, self-expression. The moment you're aware about yourself, what we do, then we know what is important for us. Firmly, positively, not with arrogance, but with a positive pressure, we can express what is important. We no longer just continue to live for others, not bother about ourselves, completely ignore or neglect ourselves. Inspiration. So as we are working with ourselves and we are understanding ourselves more and more, then we get inspired automatically, and then we do things in a way that makes sense for ourselves and for people. We don't just do it for the sake of doing it. I'm not going to the job 9 to 5 and go there and drag myself and do something and come back. But we are inspired to do whatever we do, because we recognize that every moment, all that is there is current moment, and that's where the happiness is, not some future. Let me just get through this today, and I'll think of tomorrow differently. They become very empathetic. They understand why somebody is behaving the way they are today. Maybe they were stuck in a bad traffic. Maybe they had an altercation at home. So maybe that's why they're not able to perform to the best today, or the way they're talking, dealing. So they become empathetic. And then they develop a huge engagement skill. They engage, actually. They go out and engage with people and they build great teams and communities. Self-awareness. So when we understand through meditation our thought patterns, our reaction patterns, our emotional patterns, what is it in any given situation, what's happening? The moment you see your old boss who did not support you in your deal, in your idea, in your hike, you saw your in-law, mother-in-law, or you saw your daughter-in-law the moment you're coming out in the morning. So then suddenly things get pressed. But you have an awareness. When you regularly meditate, you have an awareness and say, hey, where is my mind going? You're waking up and then again still brooding over that past incident of whatever that bad happened because somebody vacated the body during COVID. Where is my mind going? You become very aware. The moment you're becoming aware, so one thing first happens is there's a lot of self-criticism about ourselves. Oh, that person is not there, cannot survive. Okay, I did this huge mistake last time, cannot survive. There is this guilt. There is this feeling low, feeling of fear of separation, low self-esteem. There are many things that people have. First and foremost thing is we start recognizing that, am I putting down myself through my own thought pattern? That I'm unlucky, I have less resources, I'm controlled by people all the time, I'm being overridden by people all the time. Is it the thought process that I'm going through in my mind all the time? We look at that, because when we become self-aware, so we're looking at the patterns and say, what is it? How can somebody else be pressing the knob of my happiness? The moment I see somebody, suddenly my adrenaline raises. How is that so? Is that what it is? Have I given my key to somebody else? Is my remote control in somebody else's hand? Is that why I can easily become a puppet of somebody's hands in having my happiness? Will my anger just like that come when somebody says a single word? How do you understand this? Someone says in a group environment, hey, you don't know anything, you keep quiet. That's it. Then they say that, everything raises up, raises up. Just because somebody said that word, will we become that? What happens to our own confidence? So friends, first, meditation helps us to understand our thought and emotional pattern immediately. It's instantaneous. And when we do that, that's it. That's all it is required. The moment we have that ability to recognize that, okay, this is where I'm thinking, then we have an opportunity to now change that. So we become more aware of how are we speaking, how are we eating, how are we walking, what are we doing. Self-awareness is where we bring the whole life into the present. It's basically becoming into the present moment. You're self-aware non-judgmentally about a given moment. So when we become self-aware, we become very mindful. The whole mindfulness movement that is coming out is because when you have this meditation in your practice, mindfulness is a derivative. It's automatic. Walk while you're walking, eat while eating. That's what Buddha advised. Some beginner who went to him and said, what is meditation? He told him, walk while walking, eat while eating. For those who cannot go for long enough and meditate, for some people he said, okay, meditation is about becoming empty of all thoughts in your mind. Mindfulness and mind emptiness. From mindlessness, where there's no mind, we just are completely in the world where we just randomly give out something, from mindlessness to become mindfulness to mind emptiness. But however, reverse those. Practicing meditation will become mind empty, and then automatically it is giving us mindful when we want to be mindful of what we want to do. In a group meeting, it's okay. We don't have to contribute if I didn't know anything extra. But however, we've been told that, hey, you have to contribute, you have to speak up. Just for the nothing we speak up without having any value to others or repeat the same thing. We waste our energy, we waste somebody else's energy. So become very mindful when we become self-aware through meditation. Which means what? We conserve our energy. We conserve literally our energy, because every thought is energy, every feeling is energy. We conserve our energy. So and we conserve our energy and we become present moment. So all that is there is present moment, and hence we channelize that energy towards what we want, all our intent. That's how our power of thought improves significantly. Many leaders knew about this. They didn't have to do meditation, because the meditation is, all our skill doesn't start from here, right? It starts from the past. Some of the great teachers were in their past lives were also teachers. So they started from where they left. So many leaders had this, like those singers who sing very beautifully from age 5, 6, 7, 8, because they were great musicians perhaps in the past lives. So they start from here. So many leaders had it, knowingly or unknowingly. Self-aware, so that they are channelizing their energy towards totally focus. Second thing is self-expression. What is self-expression? The moment we become aware of ourselves, our thought patterns, reactions, then now we gain balance in expressing our positive emotion appropriately. We gain balance totally. If somebody is giving a feedback to you in a group setting or in a review, in a work environment, you get challenged. Normally, how dare somebody gives me a comment? Oh, what does he know? Oh, he's trying to manipulate, trying to politicize the issue. That's why he's making a comment on me. Maybe reasons may be many. Other person might be approaching with anything. But then we won't lose our composure. We have our inner poise, and we will just be balanced and say, is it worth even me speaking about this person, this thing right now? Or should I be just quiet and then listen? Maybe there is another point of view. Let me see. Where is it all coming from difference? When we start becoming one and understand the energy, we'll slowly be able to express it. But then neurologically, meditation is making us be aware of our thought patterns instantaneously, because we reduce the volume of the rest of the negative clutter. So it is helping us to be self-aware, and so we can self-express. One of the significant things is you will not find the need to prove the point to others. We won't find the need to prove the point to others. Constantly we're proving ourselves to somebody else, justifying, explaining everything. We'll say it's not necessary. Either they trust you, they don't trust you. That's fine. You don't feel that, okay, otherwise they're going to make a judgment on me, so I have to tell them, otherwise they may be thinking that way. You don't necessarily, it's not trustworthy. If it is so from the other person, so be it, then why do we care? If the other person is just making a judgment on you, irrespective of what you are, then don't bother about it, because our worth is still not taken away just because they thought in some way. At the end of the day, if we are confident about our power, nothing stops us from going forward and then expressing and experiencing the life things that we want. So this is how we move into. We move in from pleasing to pleasing others to first we'll understand and say, okay, let me be because I recognize that how much ever I try to convince the other person, it is still their decision to convince and not convince. So we recognize it's not necessary, because your happiness is still with you, so not necessary to please somebody else. You recognize that with you, you have still infinite creativity, infinite power. So your thought power increases automatically. That will have to come into existence. There's no doubt from a quantum physics model. So we don't find the need to please people, prove the points. I know you must read this book called Celestial Prophecy by James Redfield. It's a nice spiritual fiction. James Redfield, The Celestial Prophecy. So beautifully explained with this concept of energy. When two people argue, both of them are sucking energy from each other. They look at the energy fields and then whoosh, one is pulling energy this way, another is pulling energy this way. They're sucking energy from each other in these arguments, proving points. One person puts a point, he's pulling energy, so the other person feels down. Then the other one pulls back. But inevitably, at the end of the day, when the argument is over, the person who walks away elated is because he sucked the energy of the other person. Remember this. Is that what you want? In an argument, you pull the energy off of the other person, make them deplete. While the abundant universe has got so much energy, we take from there, but not suck it away from the other person. And the other person feels so down because his energy got depleted. It takes some time for them to build it up again. So that's self-expression, dear friends. So where we start becoming positively putting. Now, another important self-expression is that when we stop living for others, then you start expressing. For example, in your office, if you didn't like something, you don't express it because you're worried that manager may put a remark on your appraisal. You like a nice project, but you're worried if you ask, I don't know what he thinks of it. You're worried if you like meditation so well that you want to introduce, but you're worried they think it's a taboo. So you don't express yourself. At home, you're a mother, you want to go out and then travel, but then all the in-laws, everybody feels that you got to do. Only thing is that give yourself 100% away to the family and then kids and husband all the time. And so you sacrifice, you don't want to express it because you feel others will make a judgment on you. You will start recollecting all of that and start expressing what is important for you. Because meditation is clearly saying you are a divine by yourself. You come here for experience your inner divinity. So you got to express and experience everything you want. Don't hold it off. So we start expressing beautifully. We'll not become arrogant, but we'll put a positive pressure on the people around us. Say, this is important to me. It's so important because otherwise we're suppressing our emotions. Suppress. Psychosomatic, all diseases, when you suppress, then we are not doing great service to ourselves. We are doing a huge disservice to ourselves. That suppression of the feeling of wanting to go out and do a job, wanting to travel, wanting to have that little pleasure in the evening. From home, take a break on a Sunday. All these things we can't express, and then we put pressure on ourselves. And then it has to show up in the body as some kind of disease. So we become self-expressive, dear friends, and then start making our life meaningful. And guess what happens? When you become self-expressive every day, in little things to big things, because we gain that confidence to also express and we get that expressive, then naturally, whatever we take up, because what happens, since you're expressive, then you start attracting, right? Because you got to ask. You think and we have to ask and we have to ask, and then you start getting what you want. And so you start finding that little pleasure again. You've been working whole day, but singing is so nice to you. You set aside time for you, and then you start learning singing. And when you sing and when you learn, your heart is so elated. Then you feel like, okay, whatever the rest of it you take up with a lot of responsibility. It's no longer cribbing. You're going to the office, not with cribbing, because you had that 1 hour dose of nice music practice you did, which you always wanted, never took time, but then now you took time. You told family, hey, don't disturb me, it's important for me. I'm learning music and I'm going to sit and learn music. And then you practice, you feel so good because you're fulfilling your inner desire. Then rest of the work becomes very, very naturally. You become so responsible. With interest, you do it. Beautiful. So we increase the sense of responsibility in office, in work areas, wherever we are. So meditators have a great sense of responsibility, great asset to the organization, because when you have sense of responsibility, what happens? The manager doesn't have to come in and keep on asking, hey, where are you? What are you doing? Are you working? Not working? And Balasundaram, you should tell. I mean, he told us multiple times. Now my employees will come. They feel like, they come in and talk to me freely. Earlier, they used to get scared, but now they freely, and then they are on their own. They're working. I don't have to too much worry about managing the people. You stop. Employees become managers' delight because they're taken up, because they love it. When you like what you do, then you don't need somebody to tell you what to do, right? So we develop the sense of responsibility. So the moment we develop sense of responsibility in whatever we do, then we start inspiring others because we're doing it so well. That's all. Inspiration is about what? When you do things automatically with full of interest and detail, that comes out greatly. Quality comes out greatly, and then you're being an example. So you inspire others. So meditators, when they are really deeply there, focused, and then working with a sense of responsibility, they don't crib about it. They take it. Okay, they have a can-do attitude. They positively take it. So they're becoming inspiration to other people in the teams. So you become inspiration, and they're able to align to what is given to you because you like it. Slowly you start developing understanding that quantum model of creativity is telling that no, whatever is coming in your way is an attraction of you. It can't be somebody else. Our thoughts and feelings create reality. So we recognize that, okay, the more we put that model into use and say, yes, I must be attracting this, good or bad, I must be attracting. I need to correct my thoughts somewhere, but I'll accept what is coming to me today. So you like what you do. From wanting to do what you like initially, you start liking what is that you're doing. We change that model. Initially, we want to do something that we like, so we align to it and we ask for it. And then slowly, we recognize that what is coming to me is also me expressing at some point in the past. So let me take responsibility and take it. So we like what we do. So naturally, everything we do becomes enjoyable for us because we construct it as part of the plan. And then we move into, so we become empathetic. As we do this, and we also understand that as we understand the model that everything is connected, so we become very empathetic. We're not sympathizing people. Sympathy, there's no word of sympathy in our dictionaries. Sympathy is looking somebody in a low, as if somebody has less resources. It's not true. When we understand that we're all equal, we're all the same, it is just that everybody came for their own expression, experience. So everyone comes with a design, but otherwise we're all the same divine. So how is it somebody has lesser and somebody has more? So that is sympathy manner. That's what has been conditioned here and said, okay, you are special now. We're all the same. Is that each one chose to have come with a specific experience. One is a prince, one is a pauper. One comes with a very poor health, and one comes with a rich health. A rich health one is supposed he is planning to do something bigger, and the poor health one is helping people around them become more develop an acceptance nature. It's all it is. Each one has taken a role so that no others around benefit of themselves, experience the magnanimous power of this whole intelligence of consciousness. So we recognize that, and then sympathy goes away, and empathy comes, understanding comes from every person. Okay, there must have been a good reason why Ravi is always so good, but today couldn't make it. So there must be a reason. We empathize and understand the situations, and then we start supporting people as opposed to criticizing and then blaming and then trying to put them down. So empathetic. So we stop complaining, we stop judging people. This is so important. Patricia used to always tell, anybody comes to him, if somebody comes with a complaint, it's gone. They're out immediately. No complaint, no judgment of anybody, because we have no right. Everybody is right in their own way in what they're doing because they're based on their evolution level. Spiritual science, we understand this more and more to say there is a lot of evolution. Body needs body, mind needs body, mind, intellect needs body, mind, intellect, energy body, a soul needs. Everybody's evolving into various stages. Their lives are in that stages. a life of Kumbhakarna, a life of Ravana, a life of Vibhishana, a life of Hanuman, a life of Rama. So there is all different life stages are there. Only about body and mind, body, mind, and intellect. Wanting to tell about body, mind, intellect, and soul, body, mind, intellect, and soul, and all that is. There are various levels of life. Everybody is evolving from their own perspective. Some are exhibiting only a stage, but then nobody is wrong because at the end of the day, everybody is equal. So we understand this empathy. We stop judging people. Jesus Christ said, "Judge ye not." We have no right to judge. Who is not doing mistakes? So we understand this, dear friends. So empathy means that no judgment, no complaint. We immediately look at it. Then say, rather than putting blame on somebody, look at what is it that I can improve in this given situation. And then finally, engagement. So we start engaging. With all of this skill, we start engaging actively. We become great listeners. That's why people who meditate regularly are great counselors, anybody. Because you recognize that, okay, other person has, when you listen, then you become zero in the listen. So there's always something to learn from somebody else. Rather than being full and going to, say, Karthikeyan sir or Madhavan sir, who have been illustrious careers, or Ghai sir, when we meet them, we become very humble to say, okay, maybe something we'll learn from them. Because they have seen so much life, rather than trying to just express what I know, because we want to impress them. They'll have 5 minutes, all the time is gone away. By the time they even say something, the time is 5 minutes gone away, they say bye and then they move on. So we listen, we develop a lot of listening skill, and then we surrender to as much as possible. We make friendship with rich people. We don't surrender to the rich people. Unfortunately, you can make friendship with rich people. But you surrender to the people who have higher knowledge. You go and share your knowledge with people who are lesser knowledge. And then you help materially as much as possible with people who are less resources. This is how we work. There are two kinds of people, materially rich and spiritually and knowledge-wise rich. Materially rich, make friendship. Don't surrender to them and just do what they want to do. Just make friendship. But the people who are knowledge-wise rich, spiritually and knowledge-wise rich, surrender to them, because then you can at least become as much as what they are. If you keep questioning, if you keep impressing upon them, you keep telling them what you know, then you can't even get to what they are, right? If they have been established, accomplished. There's a way to deal with people. We recognize that we understand all of this, and then we become socially engaging very effectively. So we become great listening skills. We take initiatives. And we are very more confident in expression. We bring communities together, and so we execute larger projects, dear friends. So all meditators by default are becoming naturally leaders. They're becoming natural leaders. So friends, self-awareness to expression, to inspiration, to empathy, to engagement. There are 5 areas of emotional quotient. Every meditator, as they regularly meditate, develop in all these areas, they become leaders, and then they engage, and then build great relationships and become very successful. They become natural magnets around this community. They become charismatic and then become natural magnets. So if that is that meditation that we practice all these 5 days, shall we go back and do that meditation once again, one more day with this larger group today? And then listening to some of the great experience of these leaders that we have, and then close our 5-day program, and then continue the journey from here. Relax yourself. I want us to give our best shot. It starts by becoming nothing. That's what we're becoming, right? We're becoming nothing. Nobody, no one, no place in our mind. It starts by becoming nothing. We got to empty completely, zero ourselves completely, then we become everything. That's a paradox, but that's what it is. Because everything is empty, and then from emptiness originates everything, so that's how it is. So we become nothing to become everything. So for anybody new, we are doing a meditation as observing a natural normal breath, or normal natural breath. So we relax, we sit, we close our eyes, fingers into fingers, rest our hands comfortably in our lap, and then cross your feet at ankle. If you're sitting on the chair, sitting on the floor cross-legged. So that is the posture. Eyes closed, specs removed, fingers into fingers, rest your hands comfortably in your lap, and then cross your feet. Fingers into fingers, and then crossing feet is to circulate the energy back into the body. We're circulating the energy back into the body that we receive, we gain, we merge into during meditation. So that's why I do this. And eyes closed, again the same. So much of energy goes out. So we close our eyes so that sensory input is stopped. Also, the energy does not go out. Like when you see it, so much energy is out. So eyes closed, fingers into fingers, cross your feet. Then we observe our normal natural breath. Take any point on the nose and observe the breath. Going in, coming out, going in, coming out. Natural rhythm of your own breath. Some may have fast breath, some may have slow breath. Just observe whatever may be the rhythm of your breath, observe that. And as you observe, slowly, the equation is that our thoughts in the mind become less and less and less and less, and slowly, slowly they become empty. Breath is also becoming lighter, shorter. At the same time, mind is also becoming empty. This becomes shorter, this also becomes empty. There is some equation. And as we become empty, then we start experiencing that emptiness across the board. We start forgetting ourselves that we really exist as matter, and then we start experiencing emptiness. In that emptiness is energy, so we might have different kinds of experience in the body. Because that energy is there, and so we might have any kind of experience of heaviness, lightness, flying, floating sensations. You might see some visions, colors, all that. But whatever you do in meditation, just be an observant, as a witness, as a sakshi. Be a witness to everything that you experience as you're observing the breath, and then as you're becoming empty. Be a witness to it means do not interpret with what you know. If you have a feeling, if you have a pain, if you have anything, vision, don't try to interpret and say, oh, this is what I draw last time. Don't try to do that. Don't analyze anything. Just be a witness and just observe it. Okay. So that's the process of meditation. It's called anapanasati, breath mindfulness meditation. And before going in, we're doing a process called heart elevation. During the whole thing, I'm going to guide the heart elevation process, where you keep your hands on your chest area, single hand or both hands. And then with your eyes closed, you observe your breath as well as you rest your attention on your heart. And you take a slow, long breath. And then I want you to feel love, gratitude, compassion, adventure, joy, any of these higher emotions. For today, if you're new, pick up love, gratitude, and compassion. Any of those emotions. Love, gratitude, compassion from your past life incidents of anything where you express so much love to somebody, or you express gratitude to somebody where you felt really so good. That feeling, you want to love, experience that feeling in your body again by reliving, recollecting a memory of the past. Or if you can naturally live it, great. You can just do it without recollecting. So we do that for a few minutes, and then we go into our breath mindfulness meditation or anapanasati. So relax your friends. Relax yourself, sit comfortably. Okay, great. I allow, I surrender, I receive. This is part of spiritual quotient, understanding. There is spiritual quotient. That as much as we have the total control as the creator, as the divine self, as that quantum field, when we become one with that field, we become that everything. So we operate from that position. But when we are working in the dual nature, we are disconnected, working from the different positions. So we allow things to happen. We create, but we allow things to happen. It's both exist. We create, but we seek the resistance from this infinite intelligent field simultaneously. And finally, we surrender, we accept it, whatever is the outcome. It's like a mother, a child asking for a lot of things, and mother is finally deciding and giving a few things depending on what is available that day. It's like that. Everything is based time bound. But we recognize that whatever we ask to this quantum field model, that what we ask is got to be get created. It's got to get created. It will get created. But the moment you put a time to it and say, okay, this is when I expect it, then be ready to accept what's given, what comes to you. Because there are various combinations. We are connected intricately that whatever we project, that can happen within given time, or it can happen much farther away. Because everybody else's field is also intricately connected. That's why even vegetarianism, going to the plant-based diet is also very, very important if you are looking at seriously manifesting things in our life. While everybody's emotion plays into it, into this field of infinity that is connected. So emotions of animals play absolutely into it. So let's, as we are concluding our session, let's listen into some experiences of these 5 days. Of course, this is not the end of it. It's perhaps the beginning for everybody in the meditative journey. And for those who have meditated in the past, now it becomes strengthened. It strengthens more because they meditate with the group. And those who regularly meditate, they're recollecting some of this knowledge that they probably learned. And maybe may I request Madhavan sir to have his, how is your experience today, sir, in the last few days? We're able to make, so you have to unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Chandra. It was a wonderful experience and a great learning and a revision for me since I've been doing this. But a lot of new insights you have brought in, which will definitely help me to meditate much more and more deeply. And I really liked the way you have transitioned from the IQ, that is our essential, to the EQ and slowly move to the spiritual quotient. I think that journey was very beautifully put by you, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, it continues to be a journey, but I think you must really enjoy the journey as you move on the path. So thank you. It was a very, very good learning, a lot of insights, and I do hope we can continue to engage and be in touch. Thank you so much, Chandra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That's great to have you with us all 5 days. As much, it's really wonderful to have you. Someone who connected in with Swami Rama's energy, got to be deep inside, deeply spiritual. So it's wonderful to have your energies with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hari, would you like to share something?
Sure, yeah. In amazing 4.5 days, I joined a half day.
Can you briefly introduce yourself to us know where you're calling from and stuff?
I'm Hari. I'm based in London. I have been seeing communication on these sessions from Mr. Karthikeyan over past many weeks, right? A few months for that matter. Unfortunately, from a timing perspective, it was either. So I've been receiving messages on these sessions for some time now, and unfortunately, either it's at 3 a.m. for me or it's during my work day. While rest of my larger family in India have been doing these sessions or have participated in few sessions earlier, so I was lucky to have done these sessions now, right? And I saw it midday on when I got up in the morning. I saw a message from Mr. Karthikeyan saying, "There's this. Do you want to join? It's at a perfect time for you." The first day I joined in half an hour, midway through the session. I joined in 45 minutes towards the end. And I started, we were in a meditation session, but I slept through that session, first day itself. Second day was amazing for me. Tuesday I was completely into the session. And during the meditation, I didn't realize 15 minutes had passed at all. Normally I do sit very regularly for meditation, and I do 10 minutes. So by the time you finished, when you said we're done 50 minutes today, I was like surprised because because I thought it was quite short, at least mentally. Next 2 days, I was disturbed. I think it was just the way I was sitting, and I think there was some pain in the body, etc. Today again was amazing. I was through the session. I was completely tuned in, and I was relaxed. Thought was very stable. Literally very little digression. And again, I have done sessions in the classes in the past. When I meditate, I'm as soon as I close my eyes, I feel some vibration and my head goes, like you feel like you're shaking. I was able to connect well, be at peace. It was amazing. And over the last 5 days, from a work perspective itself, I've given morning starts with 1 hour at least of meditation, right, during these classes. Productivity wise, I've been able to maybe do twice the work, literally. Right? And I did message internally to my company as well, saying, hey, you guys should look at this session for all of us. It's been amazing. So I would like to thank you for the sessions. I've looked at some of the YouTube videos. I've not got added to the WhatsApp group. I think it's because of my IST code. I will send a separate message on that. And I'm looking forward to doing this and continuing this using your YouTube video as guidance. Thanks to you. Thanks to everyone who's been participating. As you say, the energies are shared, and amazing to be part of these sessions. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Harvi. Thank you, Karthikeyan sir. But of course, I know that's what you meant for introducing you and many to this program, right? It's wonderful. And one of the things that we're going to do is from tomorrow, our facilitators will post every day a video, a recorded video of a topic, and then they'll also post a link to a meditation that you practice so that you can continue this practice as opposed to just leaving it off and then going here and there. They're going to post a video and then it'll be a fresh thing, right? Every day it'll be a fresh thing that's going to post. So you'll be there in your WhatsApp group. We are doing connection through WhatsApp group. So those of you who are not part of the groups, you can type your numbers. Anybody who's got Buddha CEO there at the top, so you can type to them one-on-one, or you can type there in the chat, and we promise to pick it up and then add to a group. And so you will be connected. There will be a link about everyday video to watch, something to learn, and then meditate on top or not meditate regularly. So they're going to post those two links together in a message. So you can do that and then continue 40 days journey. And of course, in addition, starting this Sunday evening, India time, 5:30 to 8 p.m. So we have a connection. This same bridge, you can join back. And it'll be a larger group that will come together and then meditate together. We call this Sunday evening longer meditation. We go a little longer in meditation there. Less theory, more practice. We end up doing that. And afterwards, there'll be a lot of Q&A. So that's where we can catch up. 5:30 to 7, there'll be usually meditation. We talk about meditation. We practice meditation till 7. 7 to 8, we'll do Q&A. For all of you can be there. That we can join in and then do Q&A. That 7 to 8 is for you. Whereas 5:30 to 7 is a regular time. So we extended that to 7 to 8 for this, all of you to be part of us. Then we can discuss more as a progress. So those are two things in addition to more. There's no point me announcing, but then those things like book clubs and business leader sessions, all those will happen as you are stay through in the 40 days into your WhatsApp groups, right? So that's that. Thank you, Hari, for sharing. Wonderful to know. And then I noticed, yes, thank you for sending it out into your company. But definitely, I look for whatever. I think the more times we talk about it, then the more times somewhere they're going to take it on, right? And we can use it. Wonderful. Okay. Amitabh Chandraji, you raise your hand. Yes. Bindu madam, you're there? Yes.
Is it unmuted?
We can hear you, yes.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, everyone, again.
It'll be good to engage.
Yeah, just a minute. Just 1 second. Okay, good morning, everyone. Foremost, I want to express my gratitude to Mr. Karthikeyan, who has been instrumental in getting me to this program. I had met him for the first time about 10 years back when I was attending a program of Amritamai, and there he introduced himself. And then since then, I've been receiving mails from him. But this time I really was interested in getting into this program. And secondly, I must thank Mr. Chandra Palamasatti. You have been very nice in your program in elucidating very lucidly about the meditation. In fact, my idea of meditation was totally different. What I used to think that meditation, you need to chant something, whether it is Om or something. And this is the first time I'm hearing that meditation is so simple. As your book also says, it is very easy to meditate. So I want to thank you for that. But before I sign off, from tomorrow, I'm going to start on my own meditation. I just had a small clarification to seek. One is that should I do both the heart elevating and the mindfulness, or only mindfulness? That is the one question that if you can answer. Thank you very much, all of you.
Wonderful, Amitabhji. That's great. Thank you, Katkins. Now, heart elevation, as I said, it has got three benefits. One is it takes us into an empty state faster. That beta to alpha to theta delta, it moves us into a delta state, theta delta states, which are the lowest two states. When our heart is coherent, by feeling the love gratitude, so our brain becoming coherent quickly. Coherency means going into the lower state. So that's one thing why we're doing. So it's always there more and more research, but I'm super convinced. And then every time I do this, and my meditation is much deeper. So I would certainly do heart elevation, right? But if you have only 15 minutes, I'll just stick to Anapanasati. Anytime you have more than 15 minutes, do add in that 5 minutes of heart elevation. Still, even in 15 minutes, 5 minutes of heart elevation, you can do 10 minutes of meditation, you can do. And that YouTube in a channel, we posted a 15-minute video, 30-minute video, and then there everything has an heart elevation track in it. So practice. The second benefit of heart elevation is immunity. If you do 2 times this heart elevation, if you do 2 times this heart elevation, 6 minutes each, then you are building up a lot of immunity. There are some research, they say that 50% more immunity might be built up. The third one is heart elevation is helping us connect in and then manifest. Manifestations, our thought power and manifestation to connect to the universe is helping us more, because what you're experiencing is that one with everybody, everything, directly, actively. So it's absolutely a great part of a manifestation process. Anybody who is wanting to manifest and who doesn't have wish and dream, and then so heart elevation is helping for sure. That's why I would keep it as an integral part of the meditations.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Shobhaji, would you like to share something? Yes.
Very much for this lovely session. I enjoyed it.
Can you speak louder, ma'am?
Thank you very much for the sessions. I enjoyed it very much, and yes, it sure changed my thoughts too. Thank you so much.
Where are you calling from?
I live in Dubai, sir.
Okay, from Dubai. Interesting. Wonderful. How did you get to know this, ma'am?
Mr. Professor S. Jagdish is my uncle. He put us onto it.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jagdish. That's great.
I think he's in the evening session.
He's in the evening session. Yes, sir is coming in the evening session.
Yes, sir.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So you are in Dubai, not in Abu Dhabi?
No, in Dubai, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We have some more people meditating from there.
Okay.
One of our goal is to make communities in the areas. So we'll be initiating that activity starting next month.
Okay.
So we'll connect up all of you so that, whatever that means within your time zone, you can do some activity.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sure.
Thank you, everybody.
Karun Panathanji, do you have something to share? Suddenly you've been there every day, as Katkins has said, first one. If you can tell us a little bit more about yourself and then your view of the program, that'll be great. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Hello? Are you
Yes,
able to hear me?
it's a lot of
Are you
echo
able
in
to
this.
hear me?
A lot of echo. Can't.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Is it all right now? Hello?
Yeah, yeah. Speak, sir. We'll see if we can follow.
Yeah. It's, I don't know why it's echo now. Let me say away.
No,
Okay?
I think it's to do with the microphone. Maybe you would better off speaking into the computer directly without the microphone. Yeah.
All right now?
Okay. Just speak, sir. Speak, sir. We'll try to follow what we can.
First of all, I must thank you very much, and I'm very grateful to you. I come from South India, and I lived here for the last 40 years in Switzerland. I studied in Indian Neuroscience, Bangalore. That was during 1966-68. I feel like again in Bangalore now.
Okay.
And I'm really grateful and thank you very much for your wonderful, what do you call it, organizations, what you teach us. I believe, are you teaching every day such things?
Yes, sir. Now, this program is over. The next program is from September 14th, but it's at 6 a.m. in the morning in India time. That'll be there for 40. That's a 40-day program. So we're going to do the next one on September 14th onwards. So the programs are there regularly at different timings. Well, the next one is that way. Yes.
I will follow in your link with YouTube.
Sure.
I'm very much thankful to Mr. SCB, who
Okay.
I'm as a freelancer, financial advisor to various companies here in Brazil. And I have a lot of free time, and then I really enjoy your sessions. I always look forward every day, early morning. Thanks for your timing.
Yes, we made this convenient for Europe. So thank you for joining. Yes. I will stay connected.
And Namaskar. That convenience, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Before we take a message from Karthikeyan, sir, so Pradeep, do you have any announcements?
Yeah. Hi, friends. So my name is Pradeep. I work in the software industry in Bangalore by profession. I have been volunteering for Buddha CEO in my whatever available free times. So there are a couple of announcements which I would like to bring.
How did meditation change your life? Your 2-minute meditation experience.
Okay, this is I didn't expect this. Okay. There is a lot to say. First of all, meditation helped me to take a step back and analyze a situation without spontaneously reacting to it. Just yesterday, one incident happened in my office. So we were in this conference call. So every day these calls are happening now as we are connecting from the home. And my architect, my lead, me, and couple of my juniors, and so architect asked her some question, and then my lead responded in such a way, and I think it's just a matter of using not using the proper words, and then my boss got terribly angry, and then he left the call saying that's it, no more call for today, and then he started communicating everything via emails, and then the other side, this guy was also fuming, and after a couple of hours, so I just called to my lead and asked him, do you think anything could this would have happened in another way? He said, no, nothing in my mistake. He should be able to understand what I am saying. How many times I should tell all these things he was telling, uh, but then I said, see, maybe instead of telling that I didn't get any directions from you, we could have said that, okay, this we have discussed a couple of a couple of weeks back, and we forgot to discuss it again, and that's what this issue went ignored. He said, oh yeah, maybe I would have said like that, but situation was like that, so I was just out of my control. Uh, so these are a couple of things which I started noticing in myself. Maybe if I'm in his position, I would have responded in a totally different way. And other thing, the friendship factor developed a lot, and seeing things from the other side, others perspectives. Earlier in my workplace, I used to once my job is done, I used to close, and then I used to just leave my office. And if my boss asks who wants to take this new project, I would be the last person to raise my hand. I said, oh, whatever comes to me, I'll just do it, and then uh, just go back, just go to home. And uh, now how it has changed, I'm not saying that I'll jump in and take the extra work which I will not be able to handle, but when my team is struggling with something, and if I know that I can pitch in and help them, I'm doing it. And the team environment has been changing. Couple of months back, there was this issue where my QA team in the sense the testing team was struggling to write some automation code. And yeah, every day my manager is telling in my client calls, we are working on it, we are working on it, we are working on it. And then I sat with my testing team and asked them, what is this? And all it took was only 5 minutes for me to fix that. And the team is very happy, and the manager is also very happy. I didn't do this to get the appreciation, but I thought it's all part of one team. And so this friendship factor had helped me. Sir, do I have some more time? I would like to share one more incident.
Share it. Okay. Go ahead.
So we were doing this campaign for our global festival of spiritual scientists. This is one of the annual event which happens at Pyramid Valley International. It used to happen every October, and I got a task to put up this banner in my company, HP. So even putting a small poster in an MNC, it needs a lot of approvals. We need to get approval from the HR, floor manager, and then account manager. So many people. When Chandra sir gave me this task, I was wondering how I can do this. And then I went to my office. So after a couple of days, I just sat in my office and working late hours. One senior person from the other team came to me asking for help in the technology which I am working. So I was already loaded at that point of time. My logical mind saying, you have to deliver this to your manager in a couple of days, and then first you better focus on your thing and tell him that I'll look at it once I have free time. But maybe that little voice from inside came saying, let's look at it first. And then I asked him, okay, sir, let's sit for some time. And we sat for another 3 hours and fixed it. He's very happy. And the next day we went for lunch. So whenever I meet a new person, the first thing that comes to my mind is how I can introduce this meditation to this person. And we were discussing, and then I started talking about the Pyramid Valley International. He said, oh, I know Pyramid Valley International. I went there a couple of times. Then I thought, okay, this is the Eureka moment. Then I said, sir, we are going to organize this grand event. I had a task of setting up this banner in our cafeteria for the next 20 days. Can you help me out how I can go ahead with this? He said, my boss is the in charge for this entire floor. Let me take you to him. And he fixed up an appointment with him. I went and I told him, this is a meditation event which is happening and it will be beneficial for everyone. He said, why not? This is a good thing. Let me connect you to the HR. And then he connected me to the HR, and the HR we connected to me, the facility manager. And then all these things happened in next 2 to 3 hours. And then I got an email saying the approval, and I took the banner and kept it in my cafeteria, and it was there for the next 20 days. Had I been not listening to that small inner voice, which I definitely know. I got that ability only through meditation. When I listened to that voice, I sat with him, and from there the door opened to that possibility. So there are many instances like this. Maybe I think I need a whole hour to share. Yeah.
Yes, wonderful. Meditators have a lot of stories to tell. We'll go on telling stories, but yes, Pradeep, we have to listen to you. So please schedule an hour of a session from Soul Turns for one of the Saturdays. Let's do it. So wonderful, Pradeep. So it's about listening to the inner voice and then making those possibilities real. Right. So that's what Pradeep has done. So wonderfully articulated. So Karthikeyan sir, it's been a beautiful journey. And as we are concluding this, oh yeah, you didn't make an announcement. Please go ahead. Quickly do your 1 minute announcement. What is that?
Okay, so we are doing a couple of fundraising campaigns for, one is for Pyramid Valley International and other is for our magazines. So the first one, we are doing this, we have taken up this electrification work and internet cabling work for the Pyramid Valley International to enable better facilities for our guests, which will cost around 7 lakhs. And we have been running this campaign for almost a month now. So yeah, whoever wants to contribute, you can definitely reach out to our page, buddhaco.org/donations for more details. Koti will post it in the chat. And the other one is PSSM is, PSSM has been doing this magazine work for last few decades in many languages across the country. And most of the printing and the delivery costs have been paid by some of our generous donors. And because of the situation, it has been affected a little bit. And again, your contribution will help a lot in bringing up these magazines back to the circulation again. This is another campaign. Again, the details for this you can again find it in our page, buddhaco.org/donations. Yeah, please continue.
Thank you. Circulations are going on. We continuously need more operational funding, and so that'll be great. So there's a second, those that resonate towards spiritual magazines, which continuously introduce and independently, right? I think this is where some of my messages, I'll come to this magazines and reading. Karthikeyan sir, your message for this program for the participants as they complete a 5-day, and then there is a 5 weeks of self-driven practice. That's how it's structured.
Congratulations, Chandra, Vani Garu, Pradeep, and Bindu and the whole team. In 10 hours, in 5 days, you have been able to give the gist of what you have been teaching for 40 days. Very successfully done. It means a lot of work must have gone to sum it up in 10 hours time. And I have seen you have covered almost all aspects. And of course, excellent sharing was there from Chandra Mudali, how he got over diabetes and other problems totally. And Balsundram, a very top industrialist from Coimbatore, he was very outspoken and he said how his life is transformed in many ways. More than that, he says people who are working with him are able to approach him. And he is able to know tension and all that, that came from the heart. In fact, these are things to be played for everyone because many may not have known. And Nisha Naidu, how she got over the fear. Mayuri, how she got over migraine in no time. Sri, of course, how her motherhood becomes more enjoyable. Lawrence, of course, is an angel by herself. She has become. Now in the 5 days time, in 10 hours, an accomplished master like Mr. Madhav Nambiar to come and say, yes, I am benefited. That is the biggest tribute, Chandra, for you. He is an evolved soul by himself, and he was I know very well he and his wife have been very highly spiritual people and held highest positions in the government of India and still very humble and simple, associated with Swami Rama so closely. And he comes and says, yes, I am benefited. There is no bigger tribute to what we are doing than what his words are there. Because youngsters like Hari and others, only 5 days they have attended. I think this will inspire people to join more and pursue it, Ultimately, what the purpose of the whole thing is, we want to spread this knowledge, this gift to as many as possible. Like Bhagavan Buddha, he got enlightenment. He wanted the whole humanity to follow. Then it was, Patriji followed at least part of it. That is only Anapanasati, the first 3 days of the meditation. And he said, no, that's not enough for me, I must end it. He went knocked door to door at that time to start with, 40 years back. Now he has created many masters like you, and you in turn are committed because in Tamil we say, Yan Petri Imbam, the joy I have got, I must spread it to the whole world. You are doing it very successfully, Chandra. Congratulations. It's only what you have learned is like, when you get a degree, you have not learned everything. In a convocation, you only get a degree to say that how to learn. You learn much more in the university and outside the universe like that. This is only a kindling the inclination. There is so much in this meditation, and learning the technique is not enough. Practice is very important. I think you have given them enough incentive to follow it up. What we get is we want more and more people to be joyous and happy and peaceful. Unless the world is happy, the society is happy, we cannot be happy. Congratulations, you have done a great job. Continue to do that.
Thank you, sir. When you say practice, really what makes a difference. So that's a great message that we take from you, sir. It's all about practice. Meditation means practice because we have been knowing so much knowledge. So even an ounce of practice is worth more than any amount of teaching. So friends, we hope that we will be staying on with this continuously. And like I said, we'll have as a reminder, we'll post every day a recorded video of this 40-day program. So there'll be day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, like that still be there. So you can listen in at the same time you're used to, and then practice this. That'll be wonderful. And of course, as an alternative, our 40-day program will be there starting September 14th to join, right? Whichever that suits you. So please do it. And Sir mentioned Vani Madam. So Vani Madam, to your quick message, I didn't know if you spoke or not. So a quick message to the team. She is on the behind me on the other side of the wall. She's a great master who has been supporting in everything that I do so very well. So Vani Madam, great intuition master.
Vani Madam is the lady behind the successful man. She is a motivation. I was telling her, the only problem is you keep him so young. People do not accept him as a great teacher because he's too young. I said, you take care of him so much. So I don't believe in, dying and all that. Otherwise, I would say put a lot of gray hair to take you seriously. But I tell you, I keep telling, he's an old soul in a young body. And the credit goes to Vani Madam going like this. Morning, sometimes he handles 3 sessions, tremendous patience, saying the same thing again with the same intensity, with the passion. It's a great quality for a great teacher. Yes, Madam. Vani Garu, Vani Bla. People are waiting to listen to you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a wonderful session. I am really enjoying every time. And it's a great journey. And thanks to Karthikeyan, sir. Really, it's all the time you are with us, and it's a great guidance and everything. And thanks to Patri, sir, and great experience we all are having. Whatever we are enjoying, that is what we are doing. And my journey is a great journey. And really 2002, I started meditation. And after that, my life changed a lot. And my family is a very sensitive and emotional, very great family. But somehow 1997, I got married. And some incident had happened through life, and somehow very emotionally we all balanced, we lose our balance that time. And 2002 I learned meditation through my brother-in-law, And after that, I learned so many great things, and my life changed a lot. And handling the family and my personal development, and so much transformation it happened for me. And now I'm really thankful to meditation and Patrisa, and handling the family, and Chandra is when he's traveling, and completely I'm handling my family, my health, um, and doing so many service activities with joyfully. I'm really grateful to whole PSSM organization. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vani Madam. She runs a meditation center called Soul Trends Meditation Center in Bangalore, which is her layout. We should be shortly opening that. But otherwise, doing a lot of service to Pyramid Valley and other things. So she's a co-founder for Buddha Siva Quantum Foundation too. So with that, dear friends, thank you so much for everybody who promoted this program. And of course, this is a program that's owned by Karthikeyan sir, and then I've been significantly creating the awareness about everything that we're doing. So thank you, sir. And Balasundaramji, so thank you. SVB sir, of course, not here. I think through him, through many people have got to know. Hai sir, through him, many people got to know. Like that, nothing, each of you also. So I don't know, but then certainly you, each one of you have referred many of your friends and colleagues, Arvind, Apakutij, and all of you. So great to have you, seen you here, Chandra Madaraji. So great to have you shared your experience. It's very, very impressive. And Mayuri madam and all. And I'm sure we are going to cross our paths. We're going to continue to meet. And Madhavanji, so thank you once again for taking your time. And with that, we salute you. And then we are very, very deeply humbled to have spent this time with you in the last 5 days. It gives us great joy every time we share what we know. And then we continue to be on this path, and certainly together we'll create a beautiful, peaceful, coexisting world. Thank you all. Have a great day.